Whereas he can always have a very interesting intellectual debate with you.
I mean, you're talking about a man who has given up his home, his family, and even his homeland for something he believes in. Not many people would live in a suitcase for a cause they believe in so deeply.
But Birgitta and Daniel were becoming worried about the lack of openness at Wikileaks.
Wikileaks fights for transparency. And when I was there was very little transparency about it, and I could understand it when it was really tiny. But with its success, it became very powerful, and you cannot let power remain unchecked.
The growing dissent inside Wikileaks led to a row online by instant message. Julian accused Daniel of leaking to the press, something Daniel denies. Daniel challenged Julian about his leadership style. Julian didn't like that. So you say to Julian, stop shooting at messengers. Julian, I've had it. Daniel, likewise, and that doesn't just go for me. Julian, if you do not answer the question, you will be removed. Daniel, you're not anyone's king or god. And then it goes on, Julian, you were suspended for 1 month, effective immediately. You, ha-ha. And then he finishes off, if you wish to appeal, it will be heard on Tuesday. What was that about?
The background of this was that I was asking him about what specific deals he had made with media in respect to collaboration on releases. I just wanted to know what he had been working out, with whom, and he refused that. He took this whole occasion of talking to me to tell me that I was not allowed to ask questions to him, that he does not have to answer to me. He has this really weird hierarchy.
What he didn't know while he was being disciplined was that Julian was dealing with a man with a very unsavory reputation. He's a Wikileaks associate in Russia who claims to have access to all 250,000 of the leaked US cables, which he selects for the region's media. His name? Israel Shamir.
Future is not something that exists independently of our efforts, of your effort and of my effort. Future is something that we do together.
Whose future exactly? Meet Alexander Lukashenko, the president of the former Soviet Republic of Belarus. He's been described as the last dictator in Europe.
The elections that took place last year in December show just what Alexander Lukashenko is made of. So Lukashenko arrested 700 citizens, protesters, journalists, politicians who are members of the opposition, and the EU and America have both now introduced travel bans on Lukashenko. The EU has frozen his assets.
Exactly the sort of chap Wikileaks would want to target. But online, its associate Shamir not only praises the regime, but also uses a Wikileaks cable to suggest that America is bankrolling the opposition. And that, say the human rights group, could endanger democracy activists.
Israel Shamir is using his privileged position as Wikileaks' conduit in Belarus and Eastern Europe to support a dictatorship, a vicious regime. And it should worry Wikileaks that their good name is being used in this way.
WikiLeaks say Shamir has never worked for them and they don't endorse his writing. Shamir claims he's being smeared and that he also supplied cables to opposition media. We've also discovered that Shamir, though born a Jew in Russia, was convicted of stirring up racial hatred against Jews in his absence by a French court in 2008. Julian was warned about Israel Shamir's views a year earlier. Panorama has been leaked this. It's a WikiLeaks secret. On it, an email from Julian Assange. It reads as follows. Dear Israel/Adam, someone wrote saying they refuse to associate with an organisation that would work with an anti-Semite like Israel Shamir. Julian goes on, from a brief sampling of your writing, I did not find the allegation borne out. I found these samples to be strong and compassionate. Julian went on to suggest a solution, that Shamir write for WikiLeaks under another name, and that's handy because he's got a few of them. Among them, Adam Ermash and Yoran Yermas. Whatever the name, Julian and Shamir were photographed together 2 months ago.
How in hell is that guy involved, and why didn't I know about this? I mean, if there was any involvement of an anti-Semite in WikiLeaks, why didn't anyone tell me? Because I wouldn't work with such a guy.
Shamir ignored our question about his conviction, but wrote online, "I harbour no hate to a Jew because he is a Jew. However, I do criticise various aspects of the Jewish worldview." We asked Julian about Shamir and all the other points we raised in the programme. He didn't reply, but his lawyers have accused both Panorama and Daniel of using stolen documents. Strange from a man who got 250,000 American cables. Time to catch up with him. Julian, why won't you talk to Panorama? For the last 2 months, he's had to report to this police station. This was as close as we could get. Julian, do you still stand by Mr. Shamir? Last week, a court heard Julian's case against extradition